Ladies and gentlemen, I spent the weekend, to the annoyance of my wife, writing a long speech, which I was going to give you today, but I've decided not to. My political colleagues in the UK usually cheer when I tear up a speech. The reason I've torn up the speech is because I have come here today as someone who doesn't very often lose his temper. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I tore up my speech, because I came here today having read an email that tells me the Iraqi government are still insisting on the 31st of December deadline. This really exposes the true agenda of Nouri al-Maliki and his puppet masters in Tehran. And that's why it's so important that all the messages you've heard from the top table today, the messages crying out for action from Washington, from Brussels, from the capital cities of Europe,
پارلمان اروپا استراسبورگ. کنفرانس مطبوعاتی درباره اشرف و فراخوان نمایندگان پارلمان به جامعه جهانی برای اقدام اجل.
My name is استیونسون. I'm President of the European Parliament's Delegation for Relations with Iraq. My colleagues Tuna Kelam from the EPP Group and Soren Sondergaard from the GUI Group. So we represent three different political groups and have called this press conference today to discuss the worsening situation regarding Camp Ashraf in northern Iraq. Possibly, as you are aware, Antonio Guterres, the High Commissioner for Refugees in Geneva, had received 3,400 individual applications for asylum from the residents of Camp Ashraf. In meetings that I had with him in the summer, he said that he would use all his resources to conduct the individual interviews that are necessary for the registration of these people as refugees. He said, nevertheless, the very fact that they had applied for asylum made them people of concern in the eyes of the UN and gave them a certain element of protection. I was told yesterday by my UN source in Iraq that the Prime Minister of Iraq, Nouri al-Maliki, has announced this week that he refuses to cooperate with UNHCR. Now, nothing could make it clearer to me that these obstacles are being put in place by the Prime Minister of Iraq himself because of pressure coming from Tehran, and Tehran want the 3,400 PMOI people inside Camp Ashraf to be annihilated. We need the UN Security Council and the Americans to provide protection for the people in Ashraf, and not to keep repeating to me every time I speak to anyone in authority that the Iraqi government are promising these people will be treated under international law in a humanitarian way. We've seen the humanitarian way they were treated twice before. So I am repeating this warning. Give them protection. For heaven's sake, wake up to the danger. Please, Baroness Ashton, make a public statement